Rec-
Hi, Jonathan. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Good. So first of all, I want to thank you for getting all the forms submitted ahead of time for all of the consents for me to be able to see you. Did you have any questions about the informed consent?
I don't, not at the moment.
Okay. And then just to be thorough, just want to remind you of the limitations of confidentiality. So if you share anything that has to do with you hurting yourself or someone else hurting you or you hurting somebody else, I may have to speak to somebody else about that to get further help. Just to make sure your safety isn't in jeopardy and my safety is not in jeopardy as well. Is that
Understood.
okay?
Yeah,
Okay,
that's fine.
great. So first thing I like to ask everybody before the initial intake questions is, what would you like to have in a therapeutic relationship? What kind of therapeutic relationship are you looking for? Do you need more like explanation on what I mean by that?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so I like it to compare it to these two ways. Like some people need like validation, like to just really like be heard out and know that like what they're experiencing is like normal and it's not like out of the norm and they just want to be like validated. Some people need more of like a push, kind of need to be like, called out on things, so to speak. And then some people are like, well, I'd like a mix of both. So,
Kind of more like venting wise, and then yeah, if it comes to like me actually needing help, then yeah, I would like some feedback.
okay, sounds good. So what specifically brings you in today? Like, why did you get a referral for therapy?
Um, just like many things have been happening, like marriage wise, um, kind of like my addiction wise and stuff like that. So I mean, that's what, I kind of need a little bit more guidance, you can say,
Okay,
more than what I already am doing for myself.
okay, sounds good. May I ask you some more about that later? Like
Sure.
ask you to elaborate if you're comfortable with it. Have you previously been in any type of like therapy or counseling before?
I was at the rehab center that I was at Phoenix House.
Okay,
But that was about it, and it was just for a little bit of time because I was only there for 3 months, but only like a month and a half I did in sessions in person with my therapist that
okay,
would go and visit me at Phoenix House because I wasn't able to come out the rehabilitation center. So
okay. So with therapy now, is there anything specific that you would hope to gain?
just I mean a little bit more like self-confidence. Um and yeah, that's pretty much it.
Okay. You mentioned marriage problems. So is your relationship status, what is it currently?
I do have a girlfriend at the moment.
Mhm.
But and so my marriage has, as I was telling you, like it's going downhill. But it's best for both of us because we do have two kids in between. So I'm basically, kind of just trying to hold it down, because I don't want to also lose the whole fact of me being able to see my kids. So
Sounds like you're trying to juggle and balance a lot.
of course.
Okay. Therapy is a great place to get some assistance. What's your current source of income?
I'm working full time.
Okay, so you're employed full time.
Yes.
Nice. What's the longest job that you've held, like the amount of years?
Um, Probably like about 5 years, and that was me running my own business,
Nice. What did you do?
electrical.
Oh,
So I'm an electrician.
that's awesome. Definitely not something I could do. Good for you. What are you currently doing?
I'm doing general construction.
General construction. Okay. When did you first start working?
This was back in April.
No, I'm sorry. Your earliest age, like
Oh,
when you first ever got a job.
back when I was 18.
Oh, wow, good for you.
So yeah, I've been working.
As soon as you were an adult,
Yes.
I like to say. Still hard to be an adult at that age. What is your current housing situation? Do you live in like a residential home? Do you live with family? Do you live in an apartment? That type of thing.
I currently live with my parents
Okay.
at an apartment.
And do you feel safe in the environment? in the
They've
house?
been being in my house, yes,
Mhm.
but in the type of like community that I'm at, no, because those were like my old stomping grounds.
Okay. Would you like any like resources potentially to look into to be in other areas with assistance with housing and things like that? Would you be
Um,
open to that?
I'd
We
be
could
open
always,
to it.
okay,
Yeah,
and we can always discuss it later too if it's like not right, like the right time right now.
yeah.
Okay, and you said you live with your parents. We already got that covered. What is your highest level of education?
I graduated from high school and I did some college.
Nice.
I went to Santa Ana College for 2 years, so I completed two, no, I completed 4 semesters.
Nice.
But I never was able to obtain my AA and or my BA or MA. So I just did my 2 years of in Santa Ana College. But then I started working at Chipotle and I prefer the money over the education. So that's
Yeah,
what kind of dragged me over to just getting money instead of
is
following
that
my career.
something you're still interested in school or not really? I mean, it's not always for everyone. I'm just curious. Want to try
No,
to get to
yeah,
know
I
you better.
am interested in like going back to school, but mostly doing like my trade work,
Okay,
which is
look,
electrician, so I can get my certification for being a contractor licensed electrician, my
nice.
C10.
Okay. Do you have any type of military history?
No,
Any legal history?
legal like in criminal
Um,
activity.
yes, so this could vary from like having a DUI, divorce previously to your marriage, maybe, ever being in jail or prison, being on parole or probation.
Yes, I do have a criminal history. I did go to jail. I was locked up. And so far, I'm currently closing my cases. My last case, they brought it down to just having probation for 3 years. And that's being well handled at the moment. As of right now, I feel like I'm only taking care of like my DUI classes that I'm currently enrolled in.
Okay.
So, and that's because I have to do it to court. So,
Okay.
I have 3 months of program for my DUI classes. And yeah, that's it.
Good for you. Getting it all done and out of the way.
Yeah.
That's all that matters. Okay. Mm, So the next area is going to be like a mental health history. Do you have any mental health diagnosis?
Not that I'm aware of.
No. Do you ever suffer for any mental health symptoms?
No.
Like examples would be like anxiety, depression, panic attacks.
Back when I was at Phoenix House, they were trying to, or I did this like telehealth assessment, and
Mhm.
they were providing me with like gabapentin.
Mhm.
But for me, like I was never like a pill person, so I stopped using them right away.
Okay.
I never saw that that was like something that I needed for me
Mhm.
personally, so I just stopped taking them and never took them. So
Now, did they prescribe them to you for anything specific? What were you taking them for?
just my anxiety.
Okay.
My anxiety levels are a little bit high.
Do you, how do you feel about them now?
Um, I've been taking care of them pretty fine. So
Mhm. It's manageable.
yeah,
You don't
it's
feel
been
like you need
manageable. And it
any.
was just basically because of like my whole drug addiction.
Okay. So any, this is going to be a past history. So previous to now, any like experience with psychosis, suicidal thoughts or ideation, um, anything like that, anything,
Not really. No.
even if it was like drug related, because you mentioned your history.
Yeah, no, I went through, I mean, I wouldn't call it really a psychosis because psychosis really blends in with like alcohol and getting like an addiction. But
Mhm.
to me, like alcohol was never my thing. So I never went through that or any of that. So I was just basically like kind of fighting like depression of always being like left alone. So I was
Okay.
only that kind of like the thing that, was like getting in my way in so many things,
Okay.
but so far I've been able to like take care of it and well handle it and,
So no like past or present hallucinations or delusions either.
no,
Okay. Just want to make sure. Medical history, you mentioned you're previously on medications. Are you currently on zero?
no, zero
Okay.
medications.
Do you have any medical conditions?
No.
So you're not seeking. Okay. So now this is going to go in a little bit into your trauma You don't have to go into detail right now. I just kind of want to get a baseline for you. So, have you ever witnessed an event in which you feared for your own safety or your life?
Mm, I want to say yes while I was in my addiction,
Mhm.
because I didn't know how to get away from a certain situation
Mhm.
because I was in like my addiction wise. So like I put myself in sort of those spots, and really when I was in like my addiction, I didn't know how to take like good action of it, so that was basically it. But other than that, I'm still alive and I'm still here, present. So
Which is great. I'm glad to hear.
yeah, thank you.
Have you ever been or are you currently being emotionally, physically, or sexually abused?
No,
Good. Glad to hear that. And I know you mentioned an addiction history. Do you currently have consume any alcohol, like
no,
daily?
no,
Okay. Are you currently using any recreational drugs?
no,
Okay. And then in your lifetime, have you ever used any recreational drugs? Well, you shared that you have. So can I ask specifically what you have used if you're
methamphetamine.
comfortable? Methamphetamine? Okay. Anything besides methamphetamine?
Here and there weed, but
Okay.
that was it.
Uh, have you ever felt bad or guilty about your substance use?
Yeah, many times.
Do you feel better about it now?
Yes, and I'm able to speak about it. So
That's great. I feel like people should share stories like that.
yeah,
Have you been unable to stop abusing drugs when you want to?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, quite some time. Yeah, I tried to, and it was really hard until this last time that I actually wanted to stop and went to a pro through my own will. So
Yeah. You
that's what
decided
kind
to
of
go on your own?
yeah.
That's great. Good for you. Something to really be proud of. So next part is going to be finally the end, I promise. It's going to be your family history. So in your family, is there any history of mental health illness?
No,
Any serious medical conditions?
no,
Any legal history?
no. I was
No,
like a black sheep. So no,
it's okay. Any home safety issues?
no,
Drug or alcohol abuse?
not at all.
And do you find that your family is supportive?
Yes, 100%.
Most of your family is employed?
Yes,
Okay. And you're not estranged, sorry, with any of your family.
no,
Okay,
not more.
that's great. And then I'm gonna lastly ask if you feel like I'm gonna list a few things and you let me know if you feel like it's a barrier to you. So I like to explain it as like it's something that holds you back in any way.
Mhm.
Okay. Um, finances,
No,
housing, transportation, okay. Lack of social support.
no.
No, you're not unemployed, so that one doesn't apply. You're legal. Do you feel like kind of, or do you feel like because you're taking care of it, it's okay?
Yeah, it's okay for now.
Okay. You don't need to take medications, so that's not one. Do you feel like you have a problem communicating?
Not at all.
Okay. Managing your anger?
Yes, sometimes.
Yes. Okay. Something we can work on.
Yeah,
Physical challenges?
no,
No. Okay. And you said you don't have any chronic medical conditions. You feel like you're able to personally care for yourself?
yes,
Okay. Um, any lack of medical or dental care? Like, do you know that you can access it? Do you have access to it? Do you have medical insurance?
I have medical insurance.
Okay.
Yeah,
Um, is substance abuse still something you would say can be a barrier for you?
no,
No,
not anymore.
it's amazing. Childcare? You mentioned your sons.
Yeah. Sometimes I struggle into having my kids being taken care of while I'm at work, and sometimes, their mom is not able to also support me, like in whatever I need to do
Mhm.
for my self-care. But I've been able to as well manage that.
That's good. Well, we do have resources for that too. So just let me know and I can send you over that resource packet.
Perfect.
Okay. And so that's pretty much it for the intake questionnaire. And so based off of that, if you do feel like you're comfortable with working with me, I'd like to now go into like an actual like little brief session and then we'll schedule our sessions for weekly times. if you are comfortable with doing so.
Sure.
Yeah, feels good about it.
Yeah.
All right, great. Thank you. Let's talk about that a little bit.